Welcome back. It's Crypto Guy on the Internet here for Market Cipher, and the crypto market has taken a dip. And I see all the YouTube thumbnails switching from yay to ah! Should you panic, or is this business as usual? Well, I'm going to go over all of the major news stories, all of the ways they're trying to make you scared, and then I'm going to show you the one big piece of sneaky news that overrules all of that FUD nonsense. So first, Bitcoin open interest was running a little hot. We had a lot of leveraged longs, and the market makers got together in the bathroom like Delbert Grady and went, "These crypto bros are willful boys, if you don't mind my saying so. Perhaps they need a good talking to. Perhaps a bit more." And so they liquidated the longs. We had an RSI correction here. Calmed it down a little bit, but the party's still on. Just the music is quieter. And if you're looking at how we've been going, look at all these green candles right in a row. You're going to get a bit of a correction. And that's fine. We also have a CME gap here at 39.6 that we should probably fill. Usually these things get filled. And I'm just looking right here. This is going back to October. We've been riding a nice upward trend line, and we just bounced right off it. So we'll see. I don't really care about daily price action too much, because our weekly is still super bullish. And if you're a long-term Bitcoin investor, you don't really panic over day-to-day nonsense. But here's all the stories that could cause volatility and fear. We got a Fed meeting, the last one of the year, coming up 12th to the 13th. That's right around the corner. I'm interested to see what Jerome Powell has to say and what his outlook is for the next few months. Elizabeth Warren is still clucking along, trying to crack down on Bitcoin and crypto. Protect the big banks, mass surveillance. And so she got a few more co-sponsors on her anti-crypto bill, but I don't think this has the horsepower to pass the House and the Senate. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan kind of sided with Elizabeth Warren briefly and says, "If I were the government, I would close it all down. Bitcoin, crypto, get rid of all of it." But at the same time, JP Morgan has its own crypto coin. This is bogus, dude. He's just trying to scare you. And then we got a big macro story here. They're trying to lubricate us for a war with China. U.S. alarmed as China hacks critical systems. How do we know it was China? Maybe it is, but they seem to all parrot the same thing. It's not just Fox News, it's Washington Post, it's everybody. All American news is suddenly anti-China. China's trying to get you. They hacked some Hawaiian stuff, probably because that's our jumping off point to fight over Taiwan. But you know what this sounds like? This is right on schedule for what Klaus Schwab told us. Klaus Schwab is the James Bond villain, the head of the World Economic Forum, and this is what he said.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
But all of that is overruled by this sneaky piece of news. Google updates its crypto ad policy ahead of possible Bitcoin ETF approvals. So when you have these ETFs getting approved, they got to advertise. They're trying to get customers or their current holders to buy into Bitcoin. No, they're going to advertise primarily through Google, and Google wants that revenue. Now, is Google going to do something like this on a maybe? I don't think so. So although on one hand you have, on this hand you have, yeah, these ETFs they're getting a green light. We want that money. And so Google and BlackRock are not exactly good guys, but they, at least for the time being, have the same goal that I do. I want these Bitcoin ETFs to be approved so we can make our money next year. And I think the power of somebody like Google overrules the clucking. So let's look back at this price action here. When you have these big dip days, they're valuable in two ways. One, you're looking for another way to fill your bags a little more, perhaps. But then you could also gather data and see which coins didn't really take a hit. Now I'm looking across, and we have some strong stuff in this short list here. We got Chainlink, Matic, Kava, Gala, XRP. Everybody, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, they all took a big hit. But you know who kind of slipped and ripped right out of that? Who just Philly shelled the whole barrage and kept it in the pocket? Avalanche and Render didn't feel a thing. So when you're considering a few tokens to add to your medium to long-term bags, you look for days like this. Who came out clean on the other side? Avalanche and Render. Willful boys. So I'm not going to freak out here. I'm actually looking for that CME gap to be filled. What did I say the last video? I think we were on the weekly here, and I'm like, we got room to run. And the very next day, we went from like 41.9 to 44.5. Dang, that happened way faster than I thought. So there's strength to this rally. And although you have a daily correction, maybe even a week, like a red week could happen. And great! If it's cheap, we're not going to 20K, by the way. That's ridiculous. But if we get down to even like the mid-30s, like down here again, okay, sure. I got buys ready right here at 37.6. I got another one at 39.6. I'm looking long-term, man. The ETF narrative hasn't changed. They're trying to muddy the waters a little bit, but the plan's still here. So I'm not changing anything. If anything, I just went, ooh, you know what? I like Avalanche and Render even more. Let me look at Avalanche here. Where are we going with this? Holy smokes. Wow. If you have a weekly close above 37, I mean, where are you going next? There's no volume here. All the way up until, what, 56? Geez, Solana was painting a similar picture. I go, hey, there's nothing in the way until 80. So this is really just... It should be up and to the right on average until you get to about $80. And that's when there's a little bit of volume from March of 22. Yeah, May of 22, there's a little volume there, but that's playing out beautifully. If Google's doubling down on the ETF stuff, there's even more evidence. The old ways their time is up. The Charlie Mungers, they're dying off. They made all their money, and they can't buy another day. And then they see things changing. This generation, these millennials especially, they see that the system is upside down and backwards, and none of us are actually getting Social Security. So we're looking for an alternative, a faster, newer system. And they're grabbing on anything they can as they circle the drain. So these big banks, these Elizabeth Warrens, they feel the power slipping out of their hands. And really what they need to do is adapt and evolve with the new technology. If you stop it in the US, it just goes somewhere else, and all that money leaves with it. So they better evolve, or they're going to be left behind. You and I are the future, not these people. Have a great day.